This is Arkies in the Beltway, your look at national politics and the Arkansans influencing the discussions. I'm Alex Thomas, Washington correspondent for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, reporting from the nation's capital. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Arkies in the Beltway for the week of March 30th, 2025. Many questions on Capitol Hill concerning how Trump administration officials discussed a recent military operation and won journalist access to those messages. Top intelligence leaders appeared last week before the Senate and House of Representatives Intelligence Committees, originally set to discuss domestic and international threats facing the United States. However, that changed following reporting from The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg that he was added to a group chat with top administration officials on the Signal app. Participants in the chat included Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. Goldberg and The Atlantic released the messages, which showed officials discussing plans to attack Houthi rebels in Yemen. Virginia Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, lambasted these officials during the committee's hearing last Tuesday.
Putting aside for a moment that classified information should never be discussed over an unclassified system. It's also just mind-boggling to me that all these senior folks were on this line and nobody bothered to even check. Security Hygiene 101. Who are all the names? Who are they? Well, it apparently included a journalist.
Two Arkansas lawmakers lead the intelligence committees. Senator Tom Cotton of Little Rock chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee, and Representative Rick Crawford of Jonesboro leads the House Intelligence Committee. Representative French Hill of Little Rock is also a member of the House Committee. Speaking to reporters last Wednesday, Cotton said he does not believe intelligence officials released classified information in the chat.
What I think is most important here is not the way this information was communicated, but the actions that were taken to actually attack the Yemen rebels who had been targeting our sailors and international shipping and our friends in Israel and Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates for more than a year without any serious repercussion from Joe Biden.
During Wednesday's House Intelligence Committee hearing, Hill questioned CIA Director John Ratcliffe, who was also part of the chat group, about the messages.
Were there any war plans distributed in that Signal chat?
No, Congressman.
And were sources and methods that would compromise our intelligence system or your agents in the field around the world, were they discussed on the Signal chat?
No.
Gabbard acknowledged the mistake in adding Goldberg to the chat, but told lawmakers the messages did not contain classified information. Texas Representative Joaquin Castro, a Democrat, disputed that claim.
There is no way, having sat on this committee for 9 years, that somebody would come in with that information and give us something that says, unclassified, you can walk out of this room with this information and give it to whomever you want.
Top members of the Senate Armed Services Committee have asked for a Pentagon investigation concerning the use of Signal to discuss sensitive military information. Cotton is a member of that committee. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee getting his moment before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Huckabee appeared before the panel last Tuesday as President Donald Trump's choice to serve as ambassador to Israel. Arkansas's 44th governor and the former presidential candidate has been a staunch supporter of Israel and the first Trump administration's actions regarding the country. Huckabee told senators, if confirmed, he will represent the president and his approach to the Middle East.
I'm aware that not everyone on this committee will agree with the president's policies or his personnel choices in his administration. I'm not here to articulate or even defend my own views or policies, but rather to present myself as one who will respect and represent the overwhelmingly elected president.
The Senate hearing as the Israel-Hamas war approaches the 18-month mark. The United States has joined Arab nations in trying to finalize a ceasefire in Gaza and rescue hostages. The timing of the hearing also amid a fierce national debate on Israel and Palestine. Although Huckabee stated he would represent the Trump administration's policies, senators did take note of the former governor's past remarks. Huckabee has opposed a two-state solution between Israel and Palestine and backed Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Protesters interrupted the hearing on multiple occasions, opposed to the United States' ongoing support of Israel and Huckabee's past statements.
For the past 3,500 years would be the grace and
Christianity to justify ethnic cleansing.
Maryland Democrat Chris Van Hollen pressed Huckabee on the rights of Palestinian people.
Would those Palestinian individuals in an annexed West Bank have the same legal and democratic rights as Israeli Jews living in the West Bank?
Annexation does not mean displacement of people.
No, I'm not asking about displacement right now. I'm asking if they remained there, would they have equal rights to Israeli Jews living on the West Bank?
There would be security. There would be opportunity.
That's not what I'm asking.
Okay.
You know that.
One member of the Arkansas congressional delegation welcomed Huckabee to Capitol Hill. Senator John Bozeman of Rogers told his Senate colleagues the consideration of Huckabee's nomination comes at a pivotal moment in the U.S.-Israel relationship.
The United States needs a representative in Israel who not only understands the complex Middle East geopolitics, but can navigate them with conviction, strength, and tact.
Another Arkansan waiting for his time before senators, Trump named investment banker Warren Stevens as the next ambassador to the United Kingdom back in December. The Senate officially received that nomination in February. The head of the National Transportation Safety Board says her agency continues to review possible solutions to prevent close aircraft encounters and prevent tragedies like the fatal January collision near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Jennifer Hamady appeared before House and Senate members to discuss NTSB, as well as the ongoing investigation into the January 29th incident between an American Airlines jet and a U.S. Army helicopter. 67 people died in the collision outside of the nation's capital. A preliminary report noted more than 15,000 close encounters between commercial planes and helicopters at that airport between October 2021 and December 2024. Hamady says the NTSB also has data going back to 2011 showing collision alerts going off monthly at DCA.
All this data is being collected by FAA from operators, from others, from voluntary reporting systems. Where is that data going to trend potential accidents and incidents in the future? The next accident is in the data right now. And what are we doing to figure out what that is?
Hamady speaking before members of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development. Representative Steve Womack of Rogers chairs that subcommittee. He additionally travels through Reagan National Airport as it offers direct flights to Northwest Arkansas National Airport in Bentonville.
Safety is a top priority for the subcommittee in our work to fund the nation's transportation network. It is our duty to ensure we provide appropriate levels of support to transportation programs that ensure the safety of our skies, roads, and railroads.
Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport in Little Rock additionally has direct flights to DCA. While the NTSB can make recommendations, Hamady says agencies may not accept changes because of factors such as cost. New findings detailing the effectiveness of senators and House members. The Center for Effective Lawmaking between the University of Virginia and Vanderbilt University released its latest data tracking sponsored legislation and bills that have become law. Representative Hill leading Arkansas's House members with a 9th place ranking among House Republicans in the previous Congress. Senator Bozeman was 31st among Senate Republicans. Senator Cotton ranked 42nd within his own party. An Arkansas rabbi helped in opening the House for legislative business. Rabbi Pincus Semen of Shabbat Lubavitch of Arkansas in Little Rock served as the chamber's guest chaplain last Thursday, delivering a prayer before lawmakers.
So please grant that the vision of our nation for a world imbued with peace and tranquility be the crowning achievement of this mighty and awesome chamber in our days.
Both chambers start each legislative day with a prayer. Representative Hill sponsored Semen's appearance as guest chaplain. And that'll do it for this edition of Arkies in the Beltway for the week of March 30th, 2025. You can stay up to date with all news involving Arkansas at arkansasonline.com. Special thanks as always to the team down in Little Rock. I'm Alex Thomas, and this has been Arkies in the Beltway. Thanks for listening.